A hard lesson that I'm learning as time goes on is all resistance to creation is self will. The first time I heard it, it felt like such an oversimplification of something so hard. Do you think I don't want to create? Excuse me. I felt offended and I felt kind of called out, not gonna lie. And as time went on, and the more I started using creativity and art to express myself and to explore my own feelings, the more I learned and realized what it really truly meant. When I made the underpainting for this painting, I was in a rage. I was upset because someone who deeply hurt and scarred me tried to orbit their way back into my life. And in a very cowardly manner, might I add. And I was upset and I was angry. And when I was done with the underpainting, I thought, okay, we've expressed it. Now we can let it go. Now we can make something really pretty and beautiful out of it. But the only thing that kept coming up in my head was to make a bear. Now, there's nothing wrong with a bear, but for some reason, I hated the idea. I wanted to make something else. But for some reason, after this, I just was blocked. Like, I couldn't sketch the way that I like sketching anymore. I just couldn't make other paintings the way that I wanted to make them. And I realized that I was extremely creatively blocked. And when I really sat with myself and I thought about, well, what should we create? All that came into my head was this painting of a bear. And so I finally sat down and I did it. And the more I painted it, the more I allowed myself to at least explore this idea. You don't have to keep this painting, you can paint over it, I thought. The more I felt all the resistance within me go, slowly but very surely. I felt more and more comfortable than I did before, and I realized how much stress and how much resistance I had within me and created within my body because I just didn't like the idea of what my creativity looked like for a moment. And worst of all, I realized my inner artist wasn't showing up the way that I wanted them to show up and being creative and making the things that I wanted to make because I was signaling to them, hey, I kind of don't trust your ideas. I kind of think some of your ideas are silly. And of course, to give myself a bit more grace, it was more than just, oh, this is silly, even though that was a big part of it. I also just didn't want a painting that was like a reminder of this awful person in my house. I didn't want to show them that this impacted me or affected me either. I didn't want them to even think the thought of them graced my mind, and I felt like they didn't deserve that much energy or effort. But as time went on, I realized it was never about them to begin with. Even my feelings surrounding the situation has nothing really to do with them. It's about my bond with me and how I process these feelings that I have and what I can create with it. When I finally accepted what all of these feelings looked like and all of these resistances were and where they came from, the more I understood the bear. I really like this guy. I think he kept me safe this whole time. I think he needed to be created to remind me how loved I am and how proud I am of myself. That I had this creature in me that was protecting me, protecting these feelings as well. Feelings like anger and resistance, and giving it a space so I can safely express it. Which is also why I started associating this painting less and less with the person as time went on. I felt like this painting was more and more an ode to myself rather than that person. And it's honestly a happy change of events. It's also why this bear is holding a star. That came in later as I was painting it. It's like the bear was showing me how proud he was of me and how far I've come. And it made me really happy. I think as humans, we all are supposed to create. It's in our nature. And it might not be a painting like it is with me, but there is something that we always have an urge to create, whether it's music, whether it's electronics, whether it's whatever. What have you been resisting to create? What is it that you feel is too silly or too out there for you to make? I really think it should be made. I think it should be shared even if you can, because it helps. It really does. And even if that creation isn't the thing for you, you're building up more of a bond with yourself to say, hey, I trust your ideas and I trust you to make something out of it. And I trust you to have some fun with it as well. So, what do you want to create? What have you been resisting? I hope one day that you can share it so that I can also enjoy some of it. Let me know. Yeah.